A recent study has found that Black and Indigenous people and women are vastly underrepresented in leadership positions in Canada's cannabis industry.
While we anticipated that there would be a lack of diversity, the findings were quite glaring about how bad that state of representation and equity really is.
The study, conducted by the Centre on Drug Policy Evaluation and the University of Toronto, found that cannabis industry leaders are primarily white and primarily men. Out of the 700 executives and directors surveyed, Indigenous executives made up 2% of the market, while Black executives made up only 1%.
We're dealing with a product that has been criminalized for 100 years, that has put Black and Indigenous people, they've been disproportionately targeted, policed, surveilled, funneled into the criminal justice system. And now we have a situation where those same people are not gaining access to the legal industry. So there's this adding insult to injury.
And Magsudi says part of the reason why the cannabis industry lacks diversity is because equity was not part of the discussion in the beginning.
Really, all that the focus there is, keeping cannabis out of the hands of young people, profits out of the hands of organized crime, and a public health model. Nothing about racial equity, nothing about social justice.
Isidore Day, former Ontario Regional Chief and former chair of the AFN Cannabis Task Force, says Indigenous cannabis producers and companies have been left out of the market due to a lack of specific legislation recognizing the unique rights and jurisdiction of First Nations people.
What we're looking for is a parallel framework with Canada that suggests and even more so explicitly lays out that First Nations are recognized jurisdiction and that Indigenous cannabis is legitimate under First Nation laws and regulations and standards.
In a report in 2018, the Standing Senate Committee on Aboriginal Peoples noted that there was an alarming lack of consultation with Indigenous communities regarding the Cannabis Act.
We need to be sitting at the table when it comes to those policies and those regulations that affect us.
The study also suggested social equity programs, like the ones that have been implemented in California, could help boost representation in Canada's cannabis industry.
We have a long way to go to make the cannabis industry reflective of the inclusivity and multicultural principles that Canada holds so dear.
Krista Hesse, Global News.